Welcome everyone. In our last lecture, we have observed the principle of jet propulsion and we have seen that how the jet propulsion principle helps us in propelling the vehicle. So now in today's session, I would like to start with jet engine. So let's begin our today's session. So our first engine is ramjet engine. Okay. If you remember my last lecture, okay, then you can say we have defined the propulsive engine in two different categories. Okay, first one is air breathing engine and second one is non-breathing engine. Now, what do you mean by air breathing engine? You can say the air breathing engine is the type of engine which takes oxygen from surrounding in order to propel the aircraft, while the non-air breathing engines are the type of engine which does not take oxygen from the surrounding, but it have its own oxygen tank inside the vehicle, so there is no need to absorb the oxygen from the surrounding in order to propel vehicle and in order to execute combustion process. Ultimately, majority of the rocket engine are using non-air breathing type of engine, while the most of the aeroplanes are using ramjet engine, or you can say air breathing type of engine. Here you can see we have a fighter plane, okay, which use ramjet engine. Okay, so in order to understand the working of ramjet engine, consider this aeroplane, and in this aeroplane you may notice at the frontal panel of the aircraft we have an engine. Okay, here you can correlate the engine with the line diagram. Okay, so this one is engine. Okay, I have marked green color arrow so that you can correlate engine with the line diagram in order to thorough understanding of its working. Okay, just observe the line diagram and try to correlate it with the actual system. Now, the ramjet engine is the one of the simplest engine ever found in the family of jet engine. Okay, in line diagram you can say there is only one part. Okay, say body of the engine and the fuel burner. Okay, now as the air enters inside the body of the jet engine, okay, it gets compressed. Why it compressed? Because of the diffuser type of body. Okay, in line diagram you can observe that the body of the jet engine, okay, particularly ramjet engine, is having a diffuser type at the inlet. So whenever whatever amount of the air that is come inside the engine is getting compressed because of the diffusion action. Okay, because of the diffusion action, and this method of increasing the pressure because of the diffusion is known as a ramming. Okay, and that's why these engines are called ramjet engine. Ramjet engine. Okay. Now, as the air passes through the diffuser, as I told you, its pressure and temperature both increased because of the increasing the area of the body. Okay. Then after this air is come into the contact with the fuel burner, which is situated inside the engine. You can observe the fuel burner, okay, in line diagram. Okay. Now in fuel burner we are supplying fuel. Okay. Okay. So now the fuel and the high pressure high temperature are getting mixed with each other, and because of the high pressure and high temperature, there is the initiation of the combustion. Okay. So after the combustion, we have extremely high pressure, high temperature gas. Okay, you can observe the high pressure, high temperature gas in line diagram. Okay, that I have marked with the red color. Okay, now this extremely high pressure and high temperature gas are allowed to flow through the jet engine toward the back side. And if you observe the shape of engine at the back side, you notice that the shape of the engine is having the nozzle shape. So the extreme high temperature and high pressure gas converts its pressure energy into the kinetic energy in nozzle. Okay, and at the outlet we have extremely high amount of kinetic energy jet that is leaving from the plane. So according to the Newton third statement, to every action there is a reaction, but it is in opposite direction. And according to jet propulsion principle, as the jet is issuing from the backward of the aeroplane will try to move toward the forward direction. Okay, so it is the basic principle of ramjet engine, and ramjet engine is one of the simplest engine. And if you observe the structure of the ramjet engine, you can notice one thing, that this engine have only one part, that is fuel burner and body of the engine. Okay, there is no need of compressor, turbine, and etc. So from the weight point of view, this engine is quite lighter in weight. In military, one of the requirements of aircraft is that aircraft must have a light weight. Okay, so it is widely used in military application. Okay, clear to all? Now I would like to discuss the few of the aircraft which are having the ramjet engine. So here you can see we have a German V2 bomber which employ ramjet engine. Okay, as I told you, because of its lightweight and its simplicity. Okay, as we reduce the weight, whatever the speed of the aircraft is getting increased. Okay, and that's why military are using, majority of the military applications are using this type of engine. So one of the great example of ramjet engine is the German bomber V2. Okay, here you can see the ramjet engine. Okay, which we can use for the supersonic aircraft as well. Okay, in this diagram you can say we have two different ramjet engine. One is located on the left hand side while another is located toward the right hand side. Okay, clear to all? So it is all about the ramjet engine. Okay, now I would like to start with the next topic called pulse jet engine. Second engine is pulse jet engine. Okay, so here we have a schematic of pulse jet engine with us. Okay, now to understand the working of the pulse jet engine, okay, I have produced one line diagram and you need to correlate the actual pulse jet engine with the line diagram. Okay, the working of pulse jet engine is similar to that of the IC engine. Okay, pulse engine operates in intermittent in nature. Okay, so in order to understand the working of the pulse jet engine, consider we have three different diagrams here. Okay, during the first stroke, air enters inside the engine. Okay, and whenever it reaches toward the combustion, okay, I mean to say nearer to the fuel burner, and that time its pressure increases because of the ramming effect that we have discussed in ramjet engine. Similarly, okay, similar to the ramjet engine, its pressure increases because of the ramming effect. Now this high pressure and high temperature air is come into the contact with the fuel. Okay, so because of the mixing of air with the fuel, okay, there is the initiation of the combustion and it will produce the extremely high pressure, high temperature gas. And these high pressure and high temperature gas are leaving from the backward side of the engine, and if you observe the actual engine and the schematic, you may find one thing, that the shape of engine at the back side is having a nozzle shape. So the gases are leaving from the body with extremely kinetic energy. So there is a flow of the jet from the backward side, and according to this statement of Newton, to everything there is a reaction, but it is in opposite direction. As the jet is leaving from the backward side, the aeroplane will move toward the forward side. So it is all about the pulse jet engine, and in pulse jet engine we have also valve system. Okay, so whenever the air is getting entered, okay, valve is open, you can observe this thing in first step. Okay, in second step, because of the initiation of the combustion, there is a rise of pressure. Because of rise of pressure, this valve is getting closed. Okay, you can observe this thing in diagram number 2. Now in third diagram, you can observe as the jet leaves from the backward side, because of the reduction of the pressure, there is an opening of the valve in third diagram. You can notice. Okay, so it's work in similar fashion to the IC engine. Okay, and it will produce the power in fluctuating manner. Clear? Okay, now in next slide you can observe the practical application of a pulse jet engine. Okay, here we have an aeroplane which use the pulse jet engine, German Henkel aircraft. German Henkel aircraft is using the pulse jet engine. Okay, clear to all? So it is all about the pulse jet engine. Okay, and one another advantage of pulse jet engine is that it is lighter in weight. Okay, because it requires only the fuel burner. Okay, but one disadvantage is that it will produce the power in fluctuating manner. So for the long duration of flight, it's impossible to incorporate the pulse jet engine. Okay, clear? Now next engine is turbojet engine. Okay, so here we have a look of turbojet engine, which is widely used for the domestic as well as international flight. Here you can see we have a rotor which is continuously rotating. Okay, now how this type of engine works? To observe this thing, here I have mentioned one line diagram so that you can correlate engine with the line diagram. Basically, this type of engine are having main three components. First one is compressor, second one is the combustion chamber, then after turbine and nozzle. Okay, so just observe diagram. As the engine start, okay, its compressor rotate, and because of the rotation of the compressor, it will induce air from the surrounding. As the air induced inside the compressor, its pressure and temperature is getting increased. Now, this high pressure and high temperature air is supplied to the combustion chamber, where the fuel is getting mixed with the air. Okay, and because of that, there is the initiation of the combustion. Now, whatever the product of the combustion that is generated from the mixing of the fuel and the air, now this product is supplied to the turbine. In turbine, as these gases are flowing, okay, its pressure and temperature reduce so that it will produce the turbine work. Now this turbine work is used to drive the compressor, okay, and then after the rest of the gases that are leaving from the turbine is directly thrown to the atmosphere via a nozzle which is situated at the back of the engine. Okay, so it will leave from the nozzle and form jet, and because of this jet, aeroplane will try to move in the forward direction according to the principle of jet propulsion. So it is all about the working of the turbojet engine. Okay, and it is the quite efficient engine. Okay, clear to all?